Hello and a very top of the day to you. My name is Chiadi Ndu. I'm a counseling psychologist with BTH Integrated Services. I am also trained as a stress management consultant. Today, I want to talk to you about stress and stressors. It always fascinates me when I hear people almost gleefully saying, "Oh, I'm so stressed up." It's like they're actually very proud of themselves. "Oh, I'm under so much stress." It's like they're expecting an applause. Then I made the connection. I figured that a lot of people feel that the level of stress they experience is an indication of their significance, their relevance, and their competence. And when I hear that, a little voice inside me wants to say, "But you know what? You are slowly killing yourself." You know what stress really is? It's like a surge of adrenaline into your system, and then you remaining at that level. I remember a couple of years ago, there was a fire in some part of my house, and I needed to get out of the house so that I could bring my children out. Listen, I still don't know how or remember how, but I jumped down from that balcony to the ground. And I was waiting to catch my daughter. I was screaming to my husband, "Just throw her, I'll get her." And I knew that I could catch her. I knew. That was a surge of adrenaline. Fancy that state. That's how many people live throughout. Or maybe, just to be on the safe side, 80% of the time. You remember when our ancestors were like hunters? That's what stressors are supposed to do to you, make you want to fight or flee. Like that day, I could have taken out that fire single-handedly. I remember a woman who actually literally raised up her car when her little child ran underneath it. She needed to rescue that child. Adrenaline, the surge. Fancy being in that fight or flee mode all through your life. There is no way you're not going to wear out your system. Another stress hormone that a lot of people don't pay attention to is cortisol. Today I want to talk to you about cortisol. That's what happens each time you are under so much stress. But what a lot of people don't know is that cortisol has a tearing down effect. And once your cortisol level is elevated, your DHEA, another hormone that builds up, is reduced. A lot of people refer to the DHEA hormone as the youthful hormone. You know, the building up one, the one that makes you look like sweet 16. You know what I mean? Cortisol, however, is on the rampage when your stress level is elevated. Today, I just want to highlight some of the consequences of an elevated cortisol level. Would you like to listen? Please, just pay attention. It will help you see what you are exposing yourself to when you're under a lot of stress. Number one, cortisol stimulates an individual's appetite. It creates a constant craving for sugar. And that's why it leads to truncal obesity. You know how pot belly? It's actually elevated cortisol. Sex hormone difficulties, erectile dysfunction, drop in testosterone, and a decreased sex drive, also a result of an elevated cortisol. In women, it can lead to progesterone deficiency. It can lead to significant menopausal symptoms and very heavy menstrual problems. I didn't even know this, but it leads to memory loss because it causes the hippocampus part of the brain to begin to atrophy and shrink. 1 in every 10 depressed patients have enlarged adrenal glands. It also leads to bone loss, osteoporosis. It leads to decreased immune function. That's why there are recurrent infections. I left this for the last, and I honestly don't mean to scare you. But cortisol reduces the natural killers, those natural fighters that destroy cancer cells. kills them by 50%. So, when next you're announcing with glee, I am so stressed out, remember what you're saying. I am slowly killing myself. And, hurtful as it may sound, life goes on with or without you. In a nutshell, the key to effective stress management is time management. Arrange your time. Prioritize your life. What are the most important things? Pay attention to them in a descending order. I promise you, nature abhors a vacuum. If you're not there, there'll be someone available to fill that gap. You're not as indispensable as you'd like to think. Take care of yourself. Observe those stressors and endeavor to tone them down. Don't forget, my name is Chiadi Ndu.